So we are live now. Good morning to all. Welcome in today's Sustainable Saturday session. I am Siddharth, your host. So today we have Mr. Anmol with us. Anmol has done his master degree from Indian Institute of Forest Management, Bhopal, and he is working as a research associate at Green Yatra and involved in a research on various environmental topic. So today Anmol will talk on greenwashing. So nowadays, greenwashing is a big problem in front of us. Companies or organizations claiming that their product are carbon neutral, eco-friendly, sustainable, eco-conscious, but they are not. So this misleading information is comes under the greenwashing concept. And Anmol has done deep research on this topic. So today he will talk on various aspects of greenwashing. So Anmol, I think over to you. You have done good research, and I hope we will get some important information after this session.
Thank you for the introduction, sir. I really appreciate it. So, today I would be talking about greenwashing and various aspects related to it. So, before we understand what greenwashing is and we dive deep into the details of greenwashing, first we have to understand uh, what exactly greenwashing means. So, greenwashing is the act of making deceptive or misleading claims about the environmental benefits of a product or service that companies usually do. So, companies often do this to make their products look more environmentally friendly, even if they are not actually that much of an even if they are not environmentally friendly. So one of the most famous and the earliest examples of greenwashing is the reuse towels to save the environment campaign led by the hotel industries in the 1980s. This campaign was based on the idea that by reusing towels, hotels could save water and energy, and by that it can make a positive impact on the environment. But it can be clearly seen that the campaign had little to no effect on the environment. In fact, this campaign was the reason that made an ecologist, J. Westerveld, to coin the term greenwashing. So this was a guy who actually came up with the term of greenwashing. So in the past, greenwashing was often used by the companies, usually mostly from the cosmetic sectors, to make their products look more environmentally friendly. For example, they would add a nature or wildlife backdrop whenever they advertise their product. So to make it seem like their product is environmentally friendly. It was far more simplistic and they could be easily caught on. But as time passed by in recent years, greenwashing has become a more sophisticated. Greenwashing has been more sophisticated. Companies are using a variety of techniques to deceive consumers, such as using vague or ambiguous languages, making unsubstantiated claims, such as hiding negative impact on the environment. So, why should we bother? So, when we talk about greenwashing, you might wonder why it is so important. Why do we need to understand it, or what is it? What difference does it make if a company knowingly or unknowingly engage in greenwashing? So, to answer it, we have to understand the efforts taken by the government and other governing bodies, both at local and global level, to preserve the environment. After decades of unsustainable consumption patterns, long debates between global north and global south over development versus environment, and the creation of various frameworks to save environment, the world is finally giving importance to sustainable practices. The younger demographics are all around the world are becoming more environmentally sensitive, and they are not shy to express this when they are making a purchase. So in this changing landscape, companies of consumer behaviors, companies have started to greenwash more in order to appease this consumer base, to give their product an edge over others. Unfortunately, when more cases of greenwashing starts to surface, the people who are willing to bring a positive change are desensitized due to the false or manipulative claims given by the businesses. They lose vigor to bring a change, and the environment, the progress that we make in the environment sector is undone. Furthermore, it undermines companies who are actually willing to adapt the new green policies and make their product more environmentally friendly. All in all, companies engaging in greenwashing gets an opportunity to exploit the green market, are in fact killing the green market through their actions. So the entire purpose of saving the environment is lost. Now we come to the technique. So a common question that would arise in our mind is, what are the common techniques used by the government or corporations to mislead people into buying their products? To understand this easily, I would be referring to a report made by Canadian private nature consultancy company named as TerraChoice, who segregated these most common techniques into 6 different categories, which they termed as sins. So the first and the most prevalent sin is the sin of hidden trade-off. So this is the practice where a company suggests that their product is green based on single environment attribute or a very narrow set of environment attributes, without paying attention to much more greener important aspects which impact environment or water or etc. or forest. Such claims are not usually false, but they are used to paint a greener picture of the product than an actual environment analysis would support. For an example, we can take energy efficient bulbs, which puts more focus on energy efficiency but completely ignores the increase in the pollution caused, light pollution and other pollution caused during its production phase. Another one of the example is can be taken about the paper made from a sustainably harvested forest, which may still yield significant amount of pollution caused during production and transportation phase. According to a survey conducted by the TerraChoice, a staggering 57% of all environmental claims made by companies worldwide commit this sin. Now we come to the sin of no proof. So the sin of no proof is a practice where a company does not provide or any support or evidence to the environmental claims they make, or they provide uh, evidence from a third party which is not totally reliable. Cosmetic industries are the most common industries where we can see this type of sin happening. There are instances where cosmetics claims that their product is not tested on any animals, although they do not provide any steadfast proof to back that up. Now we come to the sin of vagueness. So the sin of vagueness basically refers to companies making environmental claim that is vague or meaningless. For example, let's take the case where companies use the Mobius loop. So for people who don't know what Mobius loop is, it's basically the recycle sign that is used on the uh, cover of the products, that like this. So another so usually they use this sign as a they use this sign to show that their product is recycled, but they do not mention how much of the how much part of the product is comes from recycled material, or how which particular part is made of the recycled material. Another one of the example is the term that companies use is the all natural term. Even toxic elements like arsenic and lead are found naturally in the environment. That doesn't mean it's good for health, but when it is expressed to the people perceive it as safer and healthier components. Then we come to sin. Then we come to the sin of irrelevance. This sin refers to companies making an environmental claim which is truthful, but it is unimportant or unhelpful for the consumers. This type of sin is mostly seen in the electronic industries, especially in the temperature, those appliances which controls temperature. One example being AC or refrigerator companies, where they claim that they are CFC free, even though CFC has been banned since 1987 in most of the countries under Montreal Protocol. Now we come to the sin of lesser two evils. As the name suggests, this term is used to refer the practice where the claim is given by a company, maybe that is true, but it is used to divert people from an attribute which is far worse for the environment. To give a better picture about this technique, we can use the example of organic cigarettes. So where the so we can see that the organic cigarettes are usually made usually can be completely organic, but the tobacco that is used in the cigarettes have a high impact on the soil, and it degrades the soil, as well as it has negative health impacts, which far more outweighs the environmental benefits it usually claims. Then finally, we come to the sin of fibbing. This is done at a much lesser scale due to the fear of lawsuits that it could attract. This type of sin basically refers to the practices of companies claiming certain environmental attributes which are blatantly false. For example, there is an automobile company, I won't name, but has cheated on the emission tests of the diesel cars and claim that their automobiles are more environmentally friendly. Now, moving on to the impact of greenwashing. Uh, so, what impacts can be real life impacts can greenwashing do? Well, the first one is being the most obvious, that it does not allow any significant environmental improvement to take place. And as I mentioned before, it desensitizes and discourages people from adopting a more sustainable lifestyle. One of the less discussed points about the negative impact of greenwashing at a national level is that it pulls down nations who are making a genuine effort to make use sustainable practices and policies. For example, good examples of greenwashing cases can be seen in countries like China, Saudi Arabia, and USA. Now, if we take the case of China, there is a new green initiative which comes under their 5 year plan, which aggressively push to shift towards renewable energy from conventional energy. People would think how shifting to renewable energy cause more environmental damage as compared to, let's say, conventional energy like coal plant. So, to give a clearer picture on how this is possible, we can take the case of Nam Theun Dam 2, Project 2, built by China in on the Trans-Basin system between Nam Theun River and Shebang Phai rivers in Laos. So this is the picture of the dam. So in this case, so for people who don't know what transbasin actually means, it is a artificial man-made uh, water diverting system which diverts water from one river to another. So the dam was promoted as a clean energy project to reduce gas emissions and promote sustainable development. But what actually happened is the project took a massive toll on the surrounding ecosystems by submerging it under the water and increased the severity and frequency of the floods. According to a 2016 study by the International Rivers Network, the Namthayun 2 dam has caused an increase in the frequency and severity of floods in the Shibangphai River basin in Laos. So the study found that the dam has blocked the natural flow of the river, which has led to the buildup of sediments, basically silt and water behind the dam. This has increased the risk of flooding downstream and has also caused environmental damage, including deforestation and water pollution. The study found out that the number of floods that happened in Shebangphai River Basin has increased by 50% since the Namthayun Dam 2 was built. Of course, this example is not to single out China for greenwashing. Every nation directly or indirectly engages in some way. The sad irony of nations and corporations from the global north, which we know as developed nations, who claim to be sustainable and clean, carbon neutral, procure their raw materials or outsource their production to developing countries, which they blame to be unsustainable. One of the best examples can be seen in the textile industry, where big players who boast about their sustainable and environmental friendly practices have been caught red handed uh, to manufacturers in developing countries where environmental and worker rights regulations and rights are not strictly followed and are often violated. Even in electronic sector, rare earth metals such as thulium, yttrium, or neodymium, which are used, are refined in developing nations. Rare earth metals are toxic and pollute the environment significantly during their refining process. Developed nations avoid this extra pollution generated by it by just letting developing nations like China produce it for them. According to US Geological Survey from 2011 to 19, this is the survey. China is currently the world's leading producer in and refiner of rare earth metals, accounting over 90% of the global production and over 80% of global refining. United States, on the other hand, produces just 14.33% and refines only 2%, while European nations like France, UK, Germany produce next to nothing. even after being the global leaders in tech industry. We do see a decrease in the ongoing trend in post COVID era, although the rare earth metals production and refining is just getting shifted from to other developing nations like uh, Taiwan and India. This further raises the question whether we are actually making an impact by just punishing companies, yet we let nations which allows these companies to procure raw materials from somewhere else to show that they are carbon neutral and they don't cause pollution. Now, moving on to how to spot greenwashing, we have understood that what greenwashing actually is, what impacts the greenwashing causes, and what common techniques companies use to greenwash their products. So, we would look in what ways we can identify whether or not a company is committing greenwashing. So here there are some basic indications to understand whether a company is doing greenwashing or not. So first one would be the measurable claims. So companies need to provide a claim that meets the standards that are measurable. Companies need to make sure that they do initiatives in the right way as per the standards and communicate these efforts in an accurate, transparent, and quantifiable manner to its customers. Beware of buzzwords. So, greenwashing often use buzzwords like eco-friendly, all natural, or sustainable, without any giving any clear definition or explanation what it actually means. If a company is using these terms, be sure to do your research to see if they are actually making any meaningful environmental commitments. Now, look for the specific claims. So, greenwashing often makes vague or general claims that about their environmental benefits. If a company is making a specific claim, such as let's say this product is made with recycled materials, be sure to ask for proof. The company should be able to provide you with information about how much recycled content is in the product and where this recycled material came from. Now check for certification. There is a number of third-party certification that can help you identify products and services that are truly environmentally friendly. For example, Ecomark issued by Bureau of Indian Standards helps to identify this. So Ecomark looks like this. So the main objective of the Ecomark is to show that a product made by a company has succeeded to reduce its environmental impact throughout its life cycle and has clear and accurate environmental claims that it and it has a clear and accurate information about its environmental claims. So pay attention to the fine print. Greenwashing often hides in the fine print. Be sure to read the product label or website carefully before making a purchase. Too good to be true. If a company is making claims that seem too good to be true, then they probably are too good to be true. Be skeptical of these claims and make it sound that makes the product sound like it's really good or it's completely green or sustainable. Now, for the conclusion, greenwashing is a serious problem that can have a negative impact on the environment. According to a study conducted by the World Wildlife Fund (WWF) 2021, it was seen that 60% of the companies in India make misleading or unsubstantiated environmental claims. It is important to be aware of greenwashing so that you can make more informed choices about the products and services you buy. By being vigilant, you can help protect the environment and avoid being misled by companies who indulge in greenwashing. But we cannot do this alone. We need to work together to raise awareness about greenwashing and to demand companies to be more transparent about their environmental claims. We also need to support stronger regulations that will prevent greenwashing from happening in the first place. The future truly depends upon. So, thank you.
Thank you, Anmol, for such a nice information on greenwashing. So, Anmol, what do you think? Is it possible to completely eradicate greenwashing?
Actually, we cannot completely eradicate the greenwashing because companies would find certain ways to like bypass the regulations. But surely we can reduce it by good extent. So yeah.
Okay, and is there any step taken by Indian government to reduce the greenwashing thing, or any
Uh,
rules
yes,
regulation?
actually, in the Consumer Protection Act 2019, it has for the first time uh, like defined what greenwashing actually is. And in their section 21F, section 24, section 58, and section 60, they have shown like they have made regulations to actually tackle greenwashing and make the companies who are involved in greenwashing like uh, what would you say, punish them, basically punish them for their fake false information. And
Okay, so
another one is actually in the 2020 the Indian government actually launched green rating project as well. So this is voluntary certification program for companies to meet certain environmental standards. So this also is a good step to reduce greenwashing and actually prevent it.
yeah. Okay, okay, Anmol. Thank you for your presentation and thank you for the facts and figures of greenwashing. So, the aim of this Sustainable Saturday session is to increase the awareness about various environmental topic among the people to make this planet sustainable. We are conducting these sessions in a school, colleges, and in corporate company. So, definitely, मुझे ऐसा लगता है अनमोल कि awareness is the biggest thing. If we can able to aware people about this greenwashing thing or about any other
Yes,
environmental problem, so we can take a positive step to reduce these things.
true, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Anmol, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.